Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava Shri Radhe. Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Shri Radha Madhava ki jai, Shri Vijay Gauranga Devanitai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna, Sankirtan Yagya ki jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we are continuing to read the Transcendental Diary. So, and then we will reading the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay. So sorry for my English. In fact, he said, by nature, the living beings and the Lord are similar. The living entity possesses the same qualities as the Lord. For example, a gold mine and small piece of gold. It is not that being a small piece of gold, it becomes iron. Both are gold. They have the same quality of being gold. As such, he said, we do not have to work hard. Krishna has provided everything we need, obtainable without much endeavor. Therefore, the Lord is saying that you have an eternal body like me, Satchitananda Vigraha. But why do you make so much effort? Relax yourself. You are my friend, like a rich man who has a son, but he becomes mad. The father thinks, how can I make my son normal and stay at home? I have such wealth. He can nicely eat, drink, and enjoy. But what to do? He has become mad and just wandering in the streets as a child and suffering with so many problems. So the father becomes very much anxious. Similarly, the Lord is also anxious because we have come here having become mad and are trying to derive happiness. The demons say there is no God. Therefore, the Lord teaches, no, look, I am there, I am God. No, look, I'm there, I'm God. By this demoniac instinct, you are suffering so much life after life. At least in this human life, you could be a little happy. What if you get an animal birth in your next life? Then you have to suffer a lot. Try to think of all these sarva dharman parityaja, the plans that you have made. There is no use of all these plans. Mam ekam sharanam raja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayashyami. Bhagavad Gita 1866. I will relieve from whatever sins you have committed. Repeating again and again that life was not for working like a pig simply to eat a few rotis. Srila Prabhupada told everyone that our business is to develop our knowledge and thus gain attachment for the Lord. If you get the knowledge of Bhagavan, then your life becomes successful. To get the knowledge of Bhagavan, one has to do austerities for many lifetimes. Because Manusyanam sahasrishu kaschit yadati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tatvataha. Bhagavad Gita 7:3. The knowledge of Bhagavan is not ordinary. among crores, tens of millions, and lakhs, hundreds of thousands of people, especially at present, they just work hard like dogs and asses for two rotis. God just give us, uh, God, it's question, just give us all this. We just want to, we just want two rotis, clothes, and we don't have anything to do with God. So, amongst many crores of people, Kashchitya dati siddhaye. What is it siddhi? What is this siddhi? To understand that I'm not this body. The body can be of a donkey or a pig. So to maintain this body, the pig eats stool, another eats something else. This is applicable to everyone. So then what is our life really mean for? The city thinks like this. What is human life meant for? Simply working hard and then attain perfection. This is Siddha. Citin Prahlada Maharaja Prabhupada said that whether one is a prime minister, the owner of Tata, or a bird or animal, everyone is in anxiety. Therefore, personalities like Prahlada Maharaja always feel compassion for the conditioned souls. When Prahlada was questioned by his father as to what was the best things he had learned, he replied that everyone should go to Vrindavana and take shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Hari. So I will stop here. Thank you. So the next Chaitanya Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The next Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 8. The next verses is 42 or 9. 40 and the next till the purports, till the verse with purports. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So the verse number 40. Mahat vi chalanam nrinam grihinam dina chetasam nishreyasaya bhagavan nanyatha kalpate kvachit. So I will read a little bit short sentences. Mahat vichalanam nrinam grihinam dina chetasam nishreyasaya bhagavan nanyatha kalpate kvachit mahadvi chalanam nrinam grihinam dina chetasam nishreyasaya bhagavan nanyatha kalpate kvachit mahadvi chalanam nrinam grihinam dina chetasam nisheyasaya bhagavan nanyatha kalpate kvachit. Bhagavan
Grihinam dina cetasam Nishriyasaya Bhagavan Nanyata kalpate kvachit Mahadvichalanam nrinam Grihinam dina cetasam Nishriyasaya Bhagavan Nanyata kalpate kvachit
So it has some verses without purport. So I can just read this verses and then the verse number 43 with purport with so and then I will speak. So translation. My dear Lord, sometimes great saintly persons go to the homes of householders, although these householders are generally low-minded. When a saintly person visits their homes, one can understand that it is for no other purpose than to benefit their householders. Purport. This verse is from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10 Canto, 8 chapter, verse number 4. The next verse 41. Amara Sange Brahmanadi Sahasreka Jana Tomara Darshane Sabara Dravi Bhutamana. Translation. Along with me, there are about thousands men, including the Brahmanas, and all of them appears to have had their hearts melted simply by seeing you. Verse number 42. Krishna Krishna Nama Shuni Sabara Vadane Sabara Anga Pulakita Ashru Nayane. I hear everyone chanting the holy name of Krishna. Everyone's body is thrilled with ecstasy, and there are tears in everyone's eyes. The verse number 43. Akritya prakritya tomara ishvara lakshana jivanasam bhave ei aprakrita guna. Translation. My dear sir, according to your bodily features and your behavior, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such behavior and features are impossible for ordinary living beings, for they cannot possess such transcendental qualities. Purport of Srila Prabhupada. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's bodily features were uncommon. Indeed, his body was extraordinary in its measurements. The measurements of his chest as well as the measurements of his forearms were the same length. This is called Nyagrudhaparimandala. As far as his nature is concerned, he was kind to everyone. No one but the Supreme Personality of Godhead can be kind to everyone. Therefore, the Lord's name is Krishna, all attractive. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 14:4, Krishna is kind to everyone. In every species of life, Sarva Yonishu. He's the original father, the seed giver, Bija Pradapita. How then can he be unkind to any living entity? One may be a man, an animal, or even a tree, but the Lord is kind to everyone. That is God qualification. He also says in Bhagavad Gita 9.29, Samoham Sarva Bhuteshu. The Lord is equally kind to everyone. And he advises Sarva Dharman Parityajama Mekam Sharanam Raja. This instruction is meant not only for Arjuna but for all living entities. Whoever takes advantage of this offer is immediately immune to all sinful activity and returns home back to Godhead. While present on this planet, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made the same offer. The end of the purport, once again the translation of the verse. My dear sir, according to your bodily features and your behavior, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such behavior and features are impossible for ordinary living beings, for they cannot process such transcendental qualities. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshun Militam Vinatasma Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadama Hyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashtitya Shatarine. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So we're starting from the verse number 40, and in this verse is from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10 Canto, the 8th chapter, verse number 4. So I will speak in according with this verse in Srimad Bhagavatam also. So it tells in this verse how Nanda Maharaj came to Garga Muni to ask about the fate of his son Krishna and praises Garga Muni as a sage. So, and also we could see that the meeting with Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Ramananda Raya, with his many thousands men, including Brahmanas. Along with me, there are about 1,000 men, and all of them appear to have had their hearts melted simply by seeing you. So many people comes with Ramananda Rai, Sri Ramananda Rai, to Lord Chaitanya, and they people saw that Lord Chaitanya is unusual person. So I will read my speech. So I prepare my speech in English. So I will just, this is everything that what I want to express, but it was printing, so and translating. So I will just reading. Okay. So the first verse. From this text and text from Srimad Bhagavatam, we understand that family people constitute the majority of the population of this planet, the material world. In other words, the material world is arranged in such a way that a man and a woman meet, produce offspring, establish family life, and fill their daily existence with household responsibilities. Family life can lead to complete immersion in Maya. Yet, spiritual family life, if it is truly spiritual, allows a person to properly pass through all stages of personal maturation, accept many forms of responsibility, and ultimately develop towards full renunciation of the material world. We see that all the famous kings described in the Srimad Bhagavatam were grihasthas, householders. We also see that most of the householders surrounded Lord Chaitanya. Advaita Acharya was a householder, Nityananda Prabhu was a householder, Shivananda Sena was a householder, and so on. The grihastha ashrama is the primary supporting ashrama of the entire society. However, because the grihastha ashrama is in a very vulnerable position with many temptations and a high probability of becoming absorbed in Maya, householders must accept guidance from sannyasis, from renounced persons, and from devotees who dedicate their lives to devotional service in renunciation. In this text, we see that Gargamuni is completely self-sufficient, sufficient and in need of nothing. We also know that Krishna himself is self-satisfied, Atmarama, and similar qualities develop in devotees who follow the instructions of sacred scriptures and serve the Lord. Their spiritual qualities gradually unfold. A sign of spiritual progress is the loss of taste and attachment for matter, for the material world and material enjoyment. This is one of the indicators of spiritual development. So this is one of the indicators of spiritual development. When we are attractive not for Maya, but we need to be attractive for spiritual nature. Is my English is okay? Okay, sorry. Householders are often influenced by the mode of passion and therefore inclined toward material enjoyment. For the reason, it is extremely important that a family establish higher priorities based on a following and hearing the instructions of great souls who have dedicated their lives to devotional service. In this case, the Sri Ramananda Raya quoted a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam when meeting Lord Chaitanya. Notice that he recited the verse from memory, a verse from the 10th canto, applying it appropriately according to time, place, and circumstances. In truth, Sri Ramananda Raya is a very exalted personality, an eternal associate of Krishna, who appeared in this Leela in a particular social role. Although born in a Shudra family, he possessed deep knowledge of sacred scripture and addressed the Lord directly. The Lord himself came to him. This again confirms that birth, caste, or social designation are not important criteria for Krishna. Krishna is not concerned with who we are socially. He is concerned with our motivation. Ramananda Rai immediately selected a verse from deep within the Srimad Bhagavatam describing how Gargamuni came to Nanda Maharaja and how the sage actually required nothing for himself. Gargamuni is portrayed as a wise saint who helps householders maintain consciousness in the mood of devotional service. In that verse and in the commentary to the Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada mentions the principle of paropakara, caring for others and for all living beings. This principle implies responsibility toward other living beings and toward the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such responsibility and care for others are preciously what Krishna expects from the active service of his devotees. Krishna waits for his devotees to become conduits of mercy and compassion toward all living beings. Lord Chaitanya said that he needs helpers because he alone cannot personally extend such care to everyone in this way, in the way his devotees can. Uh, Care to everyone in the way his devotees can. Therefore, the Lord expands himself through his devotees, who can care for others through personal relationships and direct interaction. Moreover, one who cares for other by preaching to them attains elevated spiritual development himself. Srila Prabhupada also cites a verse stating that all pious people, for example, those born in India, should ensure that spiritual knowledge is distributed so that the entire world may receive it. Sri Ramanandaraya placed himself in the position of one who needs mercy. He immediately places Lord Chaitanya in the position of great personality, while considering himself lower. Yet, what do we observe? Lord Chaitanya comes to his devotee and begins a dialogue with him, something we will see further in the narrative. At a certain level, at the level of love, the soul becomes equal with the Supreme Personality of Godhead within the relationship itself. Love balances two persons when it is genuine, a mutual, selfless relationship. So, the soul and Krishna on the level of love is equal. Someone of Gopas can sit in on the shoulders of Krishna, and Krishna can also. So it's like equal level, but it's possible just because of pure law, just law. Then the small soul who loves Krishna becomes capable of communicating with him. Krishna reveals himself to such a soul and the living relationships arises. Thus, Lord Chaitanya came to his devotee, Sri Ramanandaraya, who humbly placed himself beneath the Lord, and the Lord personally initiated a conversation with him. Krishna comes to one who is ready. Krishna comes to one who is interested. Krishna comes to one who truly desires to see him. If we don't wish to see Krishna, he will not impose himself upon us. So the next part, no, this is continue. But the spiritual principle is that we must act in such a way that Krishna notices us, that he sees that we want to communicate and build a relationship with him. Krishna waits for us to direct our free will toward him. At the same time, Krishna does not interfere with the free will of the jiva unless the soul itself desires it. However, Krishna's devotees can spread spiritual knowledge even in places where people have never thought about such knowledge and never intended to think about it. Therefore, the devotees of the Lord carry mercy into the world simply through their lives, their presence, and their personal example. Krishna waits for us to become instruments of his mercy. As soon as we become conduits of Krishna grace, he considers such a soul equal to himself in the context of loving spiritual relationship. To reach this state, one must possess spiritual knowledge and practice devotional service under the guidance of a spiritual teacher. Then the Lord will see our sincerity and the purity of our heart. He will reveal himself to us, and we will be able to feel and perceive him. Yet the Lord can be seen of experience it only through spiritualized senses. So with material senses we cannot to communicate with the Lord. With my material eyes, my material ears, my material arms, I cannot to take God really. So I can touch the deities, but if I don't know that the deities, this is not full mercy for me. I need to be full consciousness to hear holy name also. This is different from a usual person and unusual person, like a devotee. For example, the dog can also to hear holy name. This is okay. This is a благочестие. This is a okay. Huh? This is a pious for the dog, but when the devotee here in the holy name, he understand what is it, he understanding what is it, what it means. So this is different, the different consciousness. And these spiritualized senses develop on the basis of spiritual experience. Spiritual experience arises from spiritual knowledge received from the sacred scriptures, knowledge that purifies the intelligence and makes it spiritual. Therefore, in order to make the right choices, a person must spiritualize their intelligence through spiritual knowledge. If the Srimad Bhagavatam presents a verse encouraging us to help Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spread spiritual knowledge, then the first step is to do so through our own example. By living a happy and fulfilled life, we should behave in such a way that others, seeing us, may think, would I like to become like him or her? This is very important for people. So we need to know that when I'm on Harinama in my dirty dhoti, Hare Krishna, and people say, I don't want to be like him. So this is komish. This is strange people. So I need to be represented myself like a the man or woman that could give something best than you have, something best, the holy name, my mood, my happiness, my love. But people said, komisch, Leute, ich möchte nicht sein, wie diese Leute sein werden. So, just our example. Therefore, we must become qualified both for Krishna and for a living beings, authentically transmitting spiritual knowledge and the highest spiritual taste into this world, while being genuinely happy ourselves. So that was my speech about the verse number 40, especially the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. So Ramananda Raya speaks with Lord Chaitanya, and he shows his humility. But we see that, like, this is very simple for Sri Ramananda Raya to find the verse in Srimad.8.40 from 10 canto, any verse. He takes any verse from Srimad.8.40 and use it with his relationships with Krishna. And okay, so this is very interesting. Today I read the Transcendental Diary, and it in this text we read that Mamekam Sharanam Raja, and we read also Sachitananda Vigraha Kaschit Yadati Siddhaye. So Mamekam Sharanam Raja, and the purport of to the verse number 43, we read also Mamekam Sharanam Raja. So today compares so my next part. So the verse, my dear sir, according to your bodily features and your behavior, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such behavior and features are impossible for ordinary living beings, for they cannot possess such transcendental qualities. And this purport said that Krishna, Samoham Sarva Bhuteshu, the Lord is equally kind to everyone. If am I kind to everyone? So, but if I want to speak and have relations with Krishna, I need to be equal with my love. That means I need also to be kind for all another entities. Lord Chaitanya is Mahavadanyaya, the most merciful incarnation, the most confidential manifestation in this world. He brought the Vaishnavas the highest opportunities for developing the supreme spiritual taste in relationships with Krishna. Lord Chaitanya also gave us 3 essential principles. You know which? 3 essential principles. You know. Namaruchi, Jivadoya, and Vaishnava Seva. Namaruchi, Jivadoya, Vaishnava Seva. Namaruchi means spiritual taste, the blossoming of the holy name. It is our way out of the material world, the opportunity to come into contact with the Supreme Personality of Godhead through His name, because Krishna and His name are non-different. Only a devotee of Krishna can truly understand this. Therefore, Namaruchi, the taste for the holy name, the chanting of the holy name is our path and our foundation. Next comes Jivadoya, compassion for all living beings. A devotee who truly loves Krishna cannot help but feel truly loves Krishna cannot help. Sorry, I don't know it's correct or not translation. Cannot help but feel compassion for all living beings. If such compassion is absent, it is difficult to call a person a genuine devotee. A devotee is one who loves Krishna at least to some degree. Love begins with gratitude, and who is grateful can learn to love. And one who loves someone also loves everything connected with that person. For example, the mother has a child, and the child in summer goes to his grandma to the village for 2 months. And mama at home, no child by the grandma. And mother and father living without child now during the 2 months because their child on a vacation at the grandma. And mama, um, oh, my child, my son or my daughter, she sees that clothes, toys of she's child, and oh my child, this is his clothes or his toys, and she's can to remind, uh, and she also loved these toys, these clothes, because the clothes of child. So if I love Krishna, that means I love everything what with connected with Krishna. So, and one who feel compassion for them. A compassionate person clearly sees how all living beings suffer in this world without Krishna, revolving in the cycle of birth and death, suffering in the fire of material existence, struggling, competing, aging, becoming ill, and dying. Yet, this condition is unnatural for the soul. Therefore, in truth, everyone suffers. Devotees understand this and wish to help change this condition for all living beings. Thus, they spread spiritual knowledge and distribute the holy name. The third principle given by Lord Chaitanya is Vaishnava Seva, service to the Vaishnavas. This implies cooperation with devotees in a common mission, caring for all living beings, preaching, chanting together, and caring for the Vaishnavas themselves on both the gross and subtle levels, spiritually and physically. Vaishnava Seva also means recognizing that there are always juniors, equals, and seniors, and that we should serve each according to their position, care for those who are junior, cultivate friendship with equals, and hear from and be inspired by seniors. We should inspire one another, support one another, and learn to build meaningful relationships, because the spiritual world is founded upon relationships. If I cannot to develop the relationships, this is not place for me in spiritual world. Everything that is revealed through relationships with Krishna and his associates. Without relationships, there is nothing for us in the spiritual world. Then one remains only in Brahman. Vaishnava Seva also includes helping another Vaishnava in his or her service. Since a Vaishnava serves Krishna, by helping a Vaishnava perform service, I also serve Krishna. When I help someone serve Krishna, Krishna is pleased, because this is a spiritual principle. As mentioned earlier, spiritual life is based on offering. When we offer something to Krishna, it truly becomes ours. But when we keep something for ourselves, it remains within the material world. Therefore, we offer everything, just as people entering the Ganges offer its own water back to the Ganges from their hands. The commentary also explains that Krishna sees everyone equally, sarva bhuteshu. He looks upon all living beings with equal vision. However, when a living being begins to develop a personal relationships with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna releases the unique personal qualities of each soul, for every soul is individual. The text also speaks about kindness. Kindness is a quality that many people lack because true kindness belongs to the mode of goodness, sattva. People may imitate kindness or smile artificially, but genuine kindness is expressed through actions and comes from the heart. Krishna cannot be deceived. A smile without kindness is not a real feeling. Therefore, we must become genuine, yeah, genuine, truly genuine, because Krishna is real. We must cooperative, ready to serve and care for others, and capable of sharing spiritual wisdom. To achieve this, we must make sincere efforts to develop a real taste for chanting the holy name of Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. This is the end of my speech. Thank you for your patience, because this is too difficult to hear someone who just reading. When reading, many people is sleeping. So when a man just ausredet, free speech, then more interesting, more live. Oh. So I hope that was useful and understandable for you. And probably it's not so simple to say something about these verses, because verses without commentars, without big commentars. So I need uh, to think what what I uh, what I can to say according with these verses. But Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, this is the high level, not for beginners or for people who don't know about Krishna. But this is interesting thing that Krishna, Radha Krishna, this is so deep and so it needs to know many things to understand who is Radha Krishna and Radha and Krishna. And when we are worshipping to Radha Krishna deities, it's more high standard than standard to worshiping Lord Chaitanya. But Lord Chaitanya is more merciful, more um, um, more complex to understand him, but more merciful. The deities, the Shishi Gorintai, not accept the offenses from us. Very merciful. So that means that the uh, the grace of God is so Lord Chaitanya, the most sacred avatara, or Chana avatara, more sacred, and that means that his mercy is also big like the mercy of Krishna. So um, that's why that's why I have no good qualities. I have no enough purity. I have no enough knowledge. But Lord Sri Chaitanya allows to worship him. This is a mercy. That's why our movement keeps stay in a position in this world, very уверенно, sicher bleibt in dieser Welt, in unserer Gesellschaft. So, so Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Mahavadanyaya, he gave us Namaruchi, Jivadoya, Vaishnava Seva, the three simple postulates, and three simple for our mind. We can just remind this and try to realize in our life. Namaruchi. Without Namaruchi, we have no any good qualities. Srila Prabhupada said that materialists have no any good qualities because they have no Krishna, they have no their faith. So any material development, achievement, without spiritual knowledge, without spiritual, without love to the God, this is nothing. Any material developments without God, this is nothing. This is just material things. But the simple flower that small child can to offer to deities, this is more big than material big developments. So just simple flower to offering to the God. Krishna appreciated more, it really appreciated. But Krishna does not appreciate our skyscrapers, skyscrapers, our Flugzeuge, and so on. Artificial intellect also. This is not Krishna. But anyway, we can try to use everything to in service, in Krishna service. So Namaruchi, Jivadoya. Without Jivadoya, we are not devotees. We are not followers of Lord Chaitanya. It means if I am not feeling the compassion to another entities, it means my heart is not so soft. That means I'm just egoist now. So I need to think. But this is not so simple to become compassion like Mother Teresa. I need to be ready to accept mercy from Vaishnava who has these qualities. We need to hear in the gurus, the followers of Srila Prabhupada. And then Namaruchi Jivadoya, Vaishnava Seva. Vaishnava Seva also, if I don't know what is it, Vaishnava Seva, I am not a Vaishnava. I am not a devotee. So Vaishnava, this is a very high level, really. So I want to become someone, sometimes I want to become Vaishnava. Vaishnava, that means pure devotee. So just I am a Vaishnava Abhasa. So, but Krishna see us if we are engaging in pure devotional service, but not, for example, I'm not pure completely. But if I am a follower of pure devotee, then Krishna looks at me like a pure devotee. That means that зависит от, das hängt von meine Beziehungen. So, we need to be ready to accept the mercy of Krishna's followers, Srila Prabhupada followers, and then we will have a hope and possibility to feel someone in our hearts. This is not a mechanical things, not mechanical thing that I do this, I will do that, and tomorrow I can feel the compassion for another entities. No, it comes spontaneously from Krishna's mercy. And we need to be ready, but Krishna decided when he gave us this taste. So if I have not this taste, so that means Krishna, not yet, not now, not now. And it means I need to stay humble and waiting, probably to the end of my life. And I will lay in a bed and I'm dying. And Krishna, please take this mercy and then it possible, probably anytime it compares das hängt von Krishna, nicht von meiner. So that's why I need just waiting and stay humble. So when Lord Chaitanya came to Sri Ramanandaraya and speak with Ramananda, Sri Ramanandaraya, the Lord Ramanandaraya stay humble, but Ramanandaraya in Krishna Lila, he is Vishakha Devi, he is Vishakha Gopi, so very close. But he stays humble and conversate with Lord Chaitanya, and this is example for us. But this is the most sacred part of one of the most sacred part of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, the conversation, the talks between the Lord and Ramanandaraya. Very sacred, very sacred. Atmarama Shloka and other speeches. So, and so in 2 words, we need to be qualified. We need to have qualities, Vaishnava qualities. We need to be мы должны быть качественными. Как это сказать на английском? We need to be qualified. Qualität? So, yes, das eingeschaffen, ja. Wir sollen diese eingeschaffen haben. Ohne diese, without these qualities, it has no place in spiritual world. Who wants to be a fire? Who wants to go to the fire needs to become a fire. We need to become equal with the spiritual energy. And when we are going from these bodies, we need to feel the difference. I'm in the spiritual world, or I'm in a temple, I'm with devotees, so it's no different. So we need to be qualified. So if I have these qualities, I need to be humble. And then I can see these qualities in the hearts of another devotees. So Jesus Christ also said that, and the last will be first. It's a spiritual principle. And if I want to sit near the guru. Go away, everyone. I want to see. I want to be a first. No, this is not a spiritual principle. And when I stay humble, then Krishna, he's humble. Come here. And also it has lila in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, when Lord Chaitanya erscheint or with the mango seed, he will put in the ground. It was lila with his close friends, and the mango tree will start growing up very quickly. The branches, the leaves and flowers and fruits of mango appeared. And one of devotees pick up the mango fruit, and then the trees disappeared. But fruit is stay in a hand. And then that devotees offered this fruit to Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya takes this fruit, and the tree is disappeared. That means that all that we offer to Krishna is real, is really, is real, realitet, really. But everything another is disappeared. So everything that we are offering to Krishna is reality, and that real stay in Krishna hands from us. So Hare Krishna. It's so many blah blah blah. Hare Krishna. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.